Mayowa Adegoke, a renowned media personality, began her career as a television presenter in Lagos, Nigeria, gaining fame for her charisma and dedication. She has covered diverse events and stories, focusing on technology, fashion, entertainment, lifestyle, and business relevant to the global Nigerian diaspora. Beyond journalism, she founded the Road to Success Seminar, empowering UAE professionals and entrepreneurs with skills like public speaking and media coaching. Mayowa is a media maven and empowerment leader, inspiring others to pursue their dreams and make a meaningful impact. Today, Mayowa is going to be talking about the power of effective public speaking and media coaching for women in the digital age. I hope you have your pen and jotter ready for this powerhouse. Mayowa, please take it on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And I would just like everyone to be open-minded and be ready for ideas and inspiration that will come as I speak. I put together just a few slides, something to just keep your eyes busy while you listen to me. I always like to speak more than I do slides because I believe that there's power in words that we speak. Just take away the fact that what I really do is help people build powerful and profitable personal brands, right? And in personal branding, you've got public speaking, because in creating that identity, you have to speak. They've got to hear you. So what I do is help people build powerful and profitable personal brands. And what is personal branding? It's everything. It's your message, your purpose, the impact you want to make, the value that you create, the reward that you desire. Everything about your person is actually wrapped in personal branding. I call you a company. Beyond the company you work for, beyond the business that you've created, you yourself, you are an entity. And what is a structure that you serve the world with? It is called personal branding. So today the focus is the power of effective public speaking and media coaching for women in the digital age. So next slide. Why is this topic important? Why is it important? Women are 1/2 of the world's population, but only contribute about 37% of the global GDP. How can an economy operate at its full potential if half its population cannot fully contribute to it? How can we expect countries that we're in, Nigeria, Ghana, the UAE, any country, Canada, the US, if half the population is not matching up to what the other half is bringing to the table? And I know that we can get into that conversation about unpaid work and how women do, a ton of things at home that they don't actually get paid for. Who's documenting that? Which accounts do we put that in? We can get into all that conversation. But we do know that women have a lot of value that can be monetized. Do we have value to contribute to the economy? Yes. Do we have skills to monetize? Yes. Do we have knowledge to monetize? Yes. Do we have businesses that are scalable? Yes, 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 yes. From now till eternity, the answer will always be yes. But how do we find ourselves not contributing as much? How do we find ourselves, let me even personalize it. How do we find ourselves not making as much? Because at the end of the day, once you become an adult, you know that these bills don't play. And for those of you who live abroad, you already know what I'm talking about. The bills don't play. So regardless of anything you're doing, passion project, business idea, career, impact, purpose, it also has to speak in terms of bottom line. What is your bottom line? What is coming into your account? So how can we marry your purpose, your skills, your knowledge, your network? How can we marry all of these things and also meet your financial goals at the end of the day? So this topic is important because we're trying to help you elevate. We're trying to help you make the most that you can, not just financially, but even in terms of recognition, fulfillment. We want to help you become your highest self. Oprah that we know today and speak of today started from somewhere. Oprah didn't just arrive, right? We've heard of the Oprah that was sacked at some point. But what does it take to go from potential to full-on manifestation? What does it take to go from a promise to a promise delivered? How can we take you from something amazing in the works to something amazing that we can actually see and experience? Personal branding, public speaking, media coaching, they all play a role. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about the problem, its origin, and a solution, because there are many solutions. So what is the problem? There are many problems to why, remember how I started, women not matching up. Not matching up. There's so many angles to this story, and there are many personal angles to it as well. We can personalize and say, why are you not your highest self today? Why are you not operating at that high level? Why are you not a role model in a society yet? Why don't we look at you and say, that is somebody we need to follow? That is somebody with solutions. Why are companies not looking at you and saying, that's the kind of person we want to partner with? In your office, for instance, why are they not looking at you and saying, we need this person to, take up a higher position. We need them to go and represent our company in this country, in that country, for this and that. Why are you not getting the awards and the recognition? Why are you not making the money that you want to make? You must realize that all of these things, there are many things tied to it, but one of the important problems, so to speak, is that people are not showing up. And I love that this is called, the Visibility Bootcamp. I was so excited when I was invited because this is what I'm passionate about. Every person on this bootcamp is packed with value. You carry something that the world needs, that your community needs, that your family needs, that your organization needs. But how can you communicate this? How do people know that you have this? How can you show the world that I've got this? I am worthy to be followed. I'm worthy to be listened to. I'm worthy to be partnered with. How can you communicate all of these things? So there are many problems, but in top league is poor visibility and poor speaking skills, right? Now, in my experience as a journalist, and now I've been an active TV broadcast journalist for going on 11 years. It's going to be 11 years by January 2024. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, where's the time gone? And I can tell you that in all that time, from Nigeria all the way to the UAE, that I would easily find 10 men who are ready to jump at an opportunity, at a speaking opportunity, at an interview opportunity. Then I will find one woman that is ready to jump, with the same level of energy. What my work as a journalist, a big chunk of it is interviewing people. And in my experience, all the way from Adamawa, where I served in Nigeria, to Lagos, working with Channels TV, to even the UAE sometimes, you will find that a lot of women shy away from media opportunities and speaking opportunities. And I wonder, do they not understand the power in showing up on the right platform, showing up at the right time, showing up in a powerful way? It's not just showing up, it's also how you show up. The same set of women will talk about the gender pay gap. They'll talk about, oh, it's a patriarchal society. They'll talk about, oh, all the men have taken all the opportunities, they've left nothing for us. They'll talk about, oh, I'm a woman, And I'm like, there's a solution. There's at least one solution that you're not exploiting and exploring. And one way that you can easily tell that you are part of that problem is you're shying away from opportunities that will make you visible and they'll make your voice heard, right? So this is a big, big problem. Why do we find this thing happening? Why is it that in my experience as a journalist, and for many other people as well, you would easily find 10 men ready to jump at an opportunity, even if they're not the top in that field, even if they haven't prepared, they'll say, let's do it. There are many times I will call people and I know that, listen, if I call this lady, She'll give me an excuse. Oh, my wig is not ready. Oh, my makeup is not done. Oh, this one, that. I've not prepared. What are the questions? While you see a man who come and say, ready. If I tell you I need to interview in 5 minutes, send the Zoom link. We'll figure it out on the call. Men are most times more ready. Not to say that women are not, but if you look at the percentage, right, it tilts in favor of the men. So where we've understood one of the problems, now, what are some of the origins of this problem? One of it is childhood. Childhood. I coach people in public speaking, and you'd find that some of the mental blocks that people have in terms of public speaking stem from their childhood, how they were raised, how their parents and those who were supposed to nurture them and build them up would say, keep quiet. You're a lady, you're not supposed to do this. Or you're a lady, you're not supposed to do that. Or you don't speak when the elders are speaking. Or you don't speak when men are speaking. You find that the people who are supposed to help us be confident, help us to speak up, help us to stand our ground, help us to make our presence felt and show up in that powerful way. They were the ones unconsciously shutting us down. And so you find a lot of people who have grown, who have been, who have been raised in such a way that their voices, they were told that your voice doesn't matter. They were not told in those words, but by their actions, the action of parents, the action of people, guardians, and people who were like senior to us. They, in one way, said, your voice does not matter, keep quiet. I don't know if any of you have ever sat down to think about how, especially where we're from, that African setting, Nigerian setting, you find that a lot of times, at least back then, I guess it's maybe changed now to some degree, the boys were raised to be leaders and the girls were raised to be, you're going to be somebody's wife and you're going to cook and you're going to raise kids, right? And you see that the boys were raised with this, you have to make money, you have to go out there. They were raised as hunters to a degree. And girls were not particularly raised that way. And the world we live in now, we know that, yes, maybe by nature we're not hunters, but you've got to hunt. In this corporate world, in that business world, you've got to bring on your hunting skills. So how do we begin to fight against something that is nurture, how we were raised? How do we begin to change it? So childhood and the way we were raised is one origin for this problem. Cultural influences, I've touched on that. In some cultures where they say that you're a woman, this is not your place. Important conversations have been had, you're a woman, just go and focus on the kitchen. The men are discussing here, this is not your place. And you find that this begins to play out in different settings, and even in our personal endeavors, in our careers, in our businesses, because we've been raised in such a way, we've been conditioned, we're not showing up the way we should, because we've been conditioned to not show up. We've been conditioned to say, you only show up to a certain degree, right? People pleasing behavior is another thing. People who are so focused on, I just want to please other people, as long as everybody is okay. Everyone else's voice matters more than yours. If they say don't show up, then it's okay. They said I shouldn't show up. Let me just keep quiet. Oh, what will people say? That's another big one. What will people say? Imposter syndrome, doubt, fear, ignorance. Because if you realize how powerful showing up is, not just to your image and confidence, but to also your bottom line and to impacting the world, which is another big thing. If you understood how important showing up is to impacting the world, impacting the next generation, you will show up. So I also added ignorance because people just don't know. Some people just don't know. They don't realize how powerful it is. So let's speak a bit about effective public speaking and media coaching, because that's really the essence of this conversation. I wrote here and I said, public speaking takes place on stage and off stage, because sometimes people hear public speaking and they think, oh, it's going to be one event that I'm invited to. It's going to be one stage somewhere, or it's going to be a booth camp. Public speaking takes place every day, every time, in every space. It happens on stage, it happens off stage, in work meetings, at networking events, a chance encounter in the elevator. You just might meet somebody in the elevator someday and you have to speak. It happens at a business pitch. You're looking for an investor. You're looking for somebody to partner with you, to buy into your idea, to invest in you. During a TV, radio, podcast appearance. Anywhere and everywhere is an opportunity to speak. As long as you're speaking outside of yourself, that is automatically public speaking. It doesn't matter if it's in your living room with a bunch of friends. So don't limit public speaking to one big stage somewhere. It's always taking place, right? So how do we know that your public speaking is effective? I say that your public speaking is effective when you're able to masterfully, because there's an art to this skill. That's what I say. There's an art to the skill of public speaking. It is when you're able to masterfully and confidently communicate and express your thoughts, your convictions, your opinions, the value that you offer in a way that builds an emotional connection with your target audience, convinces them of your leadership, and moves them to act in a way that is favorable to your cause. Every public speaker speaks with intention. We speak because we're trying to achieve something. The same way your pastor would speak because, or your imam, or whoever is your religious leader, the way they will speak because they're trying to pass a message that will move you to give your life, to become a better person, to pay your tithe, to give your offering, to do good, to be part of a charity, whatever it is that they're trying to make you do. The first speaker talked about, the political scene. Those politicians, oh, they're public speakers. They speak because why? They're not just speaking just so that you hear them. They want you to vote for them. They want you to convince your family members to vote for them. So public speaking always has an intention. It's not just I'm going to stand there and look pretty and speak. It is that speaking must drive people to an action that I have pre-intended. I have pre-thought that action. I said, this is the action I want them to take. And so I'm going to speak in such a way that moves them towards that action. So again, public speaking or effective public speaking happens when you're able to masterfully and confidently communicate or express your thoughts, convictions, opinions, value in a way that builds an emotional connection with your target audience, convinces them of your leadership, and moves them to act in a way that is favorable to your cause. And so to be an effective public speaker, you need a few things. And I've put together 3 C's that you need. Number 1, you need clarity. Who am I? Who am I? What are my values? What is my message? What is my purpose? What is my vision? What is my mission? You've got to have clarity on your target audience. You've got to have clarity on the impact you're trying to make. You've got to have clarity on the results that you've promised. There's got to be clarity on your identity. There can be no mistake. Because part of public speaking is speaking with conviction, which is one of my C's. You've got to have clarity on the product you offer. Clarity is important. Clarity is the bedrock of everything we're trying to do as public speakers. Because if you're trying to masterfully communicate, you're trying to move someone to take an action that you have predestined, an action that you have said, this is how I want this is what I want this person to do. You've got to be able to move them. And to move them, there's got to be clarity. So you need clarity. I'm currently running a 7-day challenge with my community. So I have a community of entrepreneurs and professionals so in this community, pretty much it's teaching them and training them to build powerful and profitable personal brands. So our final activity for the year is a 7-day challenge that's sort of like a fast track to elevate your personal brand, take it from one stage and just catapult it to another stage. And while sharing on that platform, I told them and I said, in the 4 years that I've come to Dubai and lived in Dubai, I've gotten more recognition, more reward than the years that I spent in Nigeria. That's because I've now come to a place of better clarity of who I am outside of the organization that I work with. So for some of you who may not know, I actually represent Channels TV in Dubai. I'm the correspondent here. I also help them broker partnerships. Pretty much, if you're looking for Channels TV Dubai, if you've seen me, you have seen that. And one important question I asked myself after moving to Dubai is, who am I outside of Channels TV? What am I outside of this organization? And that is the trap some of you are in. You lean so much on the organization, you lean so much on the business that you don't even know who you are. And you've not made yourself an entity, an institution, such that if that company is removed from you or if that business is removed from you, you go back to square one. You don't know who you are anymore. So you've got to have clarity on who you are. The business, the career, they're all expressions of who you are. And I said that question, who am I outside of Channels TV, changed my life. Changed my life, right? And has led me to where I am today, which is helping people build, personal brands and all that. So the 3 C's again, number 1 is clarity. Number 2, confidence. Confidence. Nobody buys from a salesperson who is unsure of what they're selling. And let me tell you, you are all selling something. Whether you work in an organization, whether you work with an NGO, whether you own your own business, you are selling something. You're selling value. You're selling an idea. You're selling a belief. You're selling a service, a product. You are selling something because you want people to reward the solution that you bring. And you've got to have confidence. Confidence is not just something that is, like, oh, yes, I have confidence. It shows when you've got confidence. It shows. It's written all over you. You're going to wake up 12 p.m. in the night. It's like when I MC events. So one of my hats is I'm a conference MC and moderator, and I work with high ticket events here in Dubai. And when it's showtime, they ask me, are you ready? I said, I'm born ready. Wake me up 12 midnight. I am ready. That's the confidence. Why? Number 1, I have clarity about who I am. I have clarity about my skills. I have clarity about the results that I deliver. And so there comes confidence. I can do this thing with my eyes closed. Confidence speaks to people. People can catch that energy, say that person is confident. They know what they're talking about. Confidence. Because how do you convince people if you're not confident? Right? So as I said, no one buys from a salesperson who's unsure. And then the 3rd C that you need is conviction. You've got to believe in this thing. And part of that belief is having evidence. I can come here and talk about public speaking because I have evidence. It's not just what I talk, it's what I know, it's what I do. I have evidence. I have people that I have trained who have come back and said, oh my God, what you taught me, that thing you told me, how you coached me, it changed the game. There's evidence. So there's got to be conviction as well. So to be an effective public speaker, you need clarity, you need confidence, you need conviction. Because people need results. And your confidence also comes from results that you have. If you know that these efforts work, listen, these efforts, they work, you will confidently sell it. Why do you need media coaching? See, expert guidance will help you navigate the media world. The media world is fun, it's exciting, it is powerful, it can change your life. Media is an amplifier. You see, this small thing that you think is small, whatever it is that you have, that you think, oh, it's just a small thing that I have, media can help you amplify it, right? Media can make you in demand, even at the level that you're at. When you've done the work the right way, media will amplify. It can change your life. It can make and it can break, okay? Ask a few people who have had horrible moments on TV or, in that media space in general. So you've got to be prepared, right? You've got to be prepared. Media coaching, what it does is it gives you expert guidance that will help you navigate the media world and give you skills to make the most of every opportunity, right? One media opportunity can be your key to breakthrough. It can be what brings your next investor. It can be what, just blows up your product or your service. It can be what brings you recognition. It can be what brings you career elevation. You see this gift that you have, the world needs it. More people need it. And in my challenge that I was, the challenge that I'm doing and helping people on a fast track to elevate their personal brands, I told them, I said, listen, it doesn't matter what is the biggest room you've ever been in? So for some of us who go to like religious meetings, maybe you've gone to a religious meeting and there's 5,000. Okay, so today is Sunday, right? Or now in Dubai, it's Monday. But so I'm Christian. You go to church and maybe your church, you've got 5,000 people, right? Do you know that those 5,000 people are but a drop in the ocean compared to the people out there on the internet? The internet is the real market, right? So now I'm touching on the digital age. Your real market is online because no matter how much your friends love you, no matter how much money they have, you need more than your friends and family to buy what you're selling. If you're thinking about impact, so for some people, it's not necessarily money, it's impact and recognition. How do you get recognized? On which platform will you stand? The digital market is the real market of today. Yes, you can go to Balogo Market if you're in Nigeria and sell to, I don't know, 1,000 people a day. But on the internet, people can shut down your website because everybody's trying to buy, everybody's trying to click. They're trying to subscribe to what you're selling. They're trying to get your course. They're trying to buy your products. They're trying to, like, whatever it is that you're selling, the internet is your real market. You can be in one location and your audience is scattered all over the world. People all over the world are looking for what you have, but how would they find you? So you need to leverage media. You need to show up. And one quick test, when you go on Google and you search yourself, what comes up? What does Google say about you? Are we only going to find your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Instagram, and your Facebook, and that's all? If you say that you are a leader, you should be followed. And when I say leader, I'm not saying like a position, right? If you have a product that you feel my product is good, you're a leader. And you want people to follow you in terms of buy my product. When I say this product is good, buy it, and people go ahead and buy it, they are following you. In that sense, you're a leader. Or maybe you are working in a technical industry and you know this industry like the back of your hand. You have insights, you have ideas that can revolutionize things. How can you get your industry to know that you've got something, right? When there's a conference where decisions are being made, when the future of your industry is being shaped, your voice needs to count. They need to say, we need to have Ariike in this room. She needs to be an important part of this conversation. When they're talking about global trade, there are certain names that they're going to bring on board. at different levels. So if you say that I have something to offer, then you should position yourself in such a way that they will find you. And media is one way to position yourself. Media is one way to show the world what you've got. And many people don't know media. So you need to navigate that world. You need expert guidance. That's why you need media coaching. How to navigate certain questions. Because listen, a journalist is not there for you. The journalist is not obliged to promote you. That's the mistake people make. They think that journalists are just there to blow your own trumpet. No. The journalist is first loyal to journalism. Then the journalist is maybe, secondly, loyal to the organization that they work for. Then the journalist is loyal to the populace, the masses. They're not necessarily there to promote you. But how can you get what you want while giving the journalist what the journalist wants? How can you position yourself as a thought leader, thereby getting the recognition that you want? You need expert guidance, how to answer questions, how to show up, how to find journalists. I actually have a webinar on how to pitch yourself to media and get free media. How can you get free interviews? How can you get free publicity? Free. There's a way to go about it. But if you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. So that's one of the major reasons why you need media coaching. Now, to wrap it up, why do you have to do different? I started by talking about how women need to level up. We need to be contributing more in terms of the global economy. And excuse me, when we're contributing more to the global economy, it means you yourself, you have more in your pocket. It means you yourself, you have more in your pocket. And then you're contributing to global economy. You're contributing to the economy of the country that you reside in, right? So you need to have more in your pocket. You need to have more. But why do we find that women are not getting more? Why do we find that we have, golden fish in hiding? So many of you with value, with so much to offer, but you're in hiding, nobody knows. And since they don't know you, your money is reduced, your recognition is reduced, your awards are reduced. Listen, you get to a point that awards will just be flowing. There's like a ripple effect. It's because you're visible, they can see you. They award the people they can see. They interview the people they can see. Excuse me. Right? So come out of hiding. If you know you've got something, come out of hiding. Do different because number one, you're going to be a beneficiary. Your family is going to be a beneficiary. And we need more women showing the way. We need more women showing it can be done. If you become successful, you're going to inspire thousands of women to become successful and you impact your generation. I hope this has been impactful. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Mayowa.
What did I tell you guys before she came on? I said, listen, this is a powerhouse of knowledge and everything media. Mayowa, just before you go, I just want to quickly ask you this question. You mentioned, going to Dubai and getting more recognition in Dubai. What would you say is responsible for that?
Definitely God, number one. I do not think my life story, God, like big signboard. But like I always say, and Nigerians always use God as an excuse sometimes for not doing the work. You see, God has blessed everybody. God has blessed everybody. It is now your own responsibility to show up. People are not showing up. And why are they not showing up? No clarity, no confidence, no conviction. So I would say that in Dubai, I sort of felt like my wings just, if my wings were a little like this in Nigeria, my wings were like this. I was much more ambitious. I was much more hungry. There were no corporate limitations, so to speak, because now I sort of freelance. So I'm like my own boss. Right. But it was just that hunger and knowing that there is more on the inside. You see, the moment you realize that there's more on your inside and you're desperate to bring it out, your strategy would change. And so there was much more focus. I decided, listen, there is more on the inside. I've got to show up. Like what is on your inside and what is on your outside, they have to start matching up. Some of you have it on the inside, but it's not matching. Nobody sees you, nobody knows you because you're not communicating. So it was that I decided that what's on my inside has got to match up with what's on my outside. And that's the journey I'm on.
Wow.
That's the journey I'm on. So
Wow.
the moment your strategy begins to match, you begin to see the results. In 4 years, most influential, one of the MyPad most influential, how was that? Most influential people of African descent, most influential women in Dubai, but like it's plenty. And this is just a result. When you begin to show up the way you should, everything else aligns.
I need to take that again. When you begin to show up the way you should.
The way you should.
Everything
begins to align.
Somebody put that on a flyer on the team, please. Let's push that out. That's it. That's the nugget for me.